The muscular system allows us to move, maintain posture, breathe, and generate heat. Although the human body contains more than 600 muscles, most anatomy courses focus on the superficial muscles. In this lesson, we'll learn where these muscles are located and how they work. We will also examine each muscle's origin, insertion, and primary action. Understanding these three terms makes it much easier to predict how muscles produce movement. By the end of this lesson, you'll recognize the most important muscles of the upper body. Before learning individual muscles, it's important to understand a few key terms. The origin is the attachment point that usually remains relatively stationary during movement. The insertion is attached to the bone that moves. When a muscle contracts, it pulls the insertion towards the origin. The muscle primarily responsible for a movement is called the agonist. Other muscles may assist or oppose the movement, creating smooth and coordinated motion. The sternocleidomastoid is one of the most recognizable muscles of the neck. Its name describes its attachments to the sternum, clavicle, and mastoid process. When one side contracts, it rotates the head to the opposite side. When both muscles contract together, they flex the neck forward. The sternocleidomastoid is active whenever you look over your shoulder or nod your head. It also helps stabilize the head during movement. The trapezius is a large diamond-shaped muscle covering the upper back and neck. It has broad attachments along the skull and vertebral column. The muscle inserts into the clavicle and scapula. Its upper fibers elevate the shoulders during a shrug. The middle fibers pull the shoulder blades together, while the lower fibers help rotate the scapula. The trapezius is essential for posture and upper body stability. The deltoid forms the rounded contour of the shoulder. It originates from three different locations around the shoulder girdle. All fibers converge on the humerus. The middle fibers abduct the arm, lifting it away from the body. The anterior fibers flex the shoulder, while the posterior fibers extend it. Nearly every shoulder movement involves the deltoid. The pectoralis major is the large chest muscle responsible for many pushing movements. It originates from the clavicle, sternum, and upper ribs. The fibers insert on the humerus. The muscle pulls the arm towards the body's midline and rotates it inward. It is heavily used during push-ups, bench presses, and throwing. Strong pectoral muscles also help stabilize the shoulder. The latissimus dorsi is the broadest muscle of the back. It originates from the lower spine and pelvis before inserting into the humerus. This muscle extends the shoulder and pulls the arm downward. It is especially active during climbing, rowing, and swimming. The latissimus dorsi provides much of the power during pull-ups. It is one of the strongest muscles acting on the shoulder joint. The biceps brachii has two heads that originate on the scapula. Both insert into the radius in the forearm. Its primary function is bending the elbow. It also rotates the forearm into the palm up position, called supination. The biceps is heavily used during lifting and pulling movements. Although famous for arm strength, it also helps stabilize the shoulder. The triceps brachii forms the back of the upper arm. It has three heads with different origins. All three insert into the ulna. The triceps straightens the elbow during extension. It works opposite the biceps, making the two muscles antagonists. Activities such as pushing open a door or doing push-ups depend heavily on the triceps. The abdominal muscles stabilize the trunk and protect internal organs. The rectus abdominis runs vertically along the front of the abdomen and flexes the spine. The external oblique lies on the sides of the abdomen. It rotates and bends the trunk. Together, these muscles contribute to posture, breathing, and lifting. They also play an important role in athletic performance. Muscles rarely work alone. Most movements require several muscles acting together. Agonists create movement, while antagonists control or oppose it. Synergists assist the primary muscle. Stabilizing muscles keeps joints secure throughout movement. Understanding muscle groups rather than isolated muscles helps explain how the body performs complex tasks. The major upper body muscles work together to produce movement, maintain posture, and stabilize the joints. Learning each muscle's origin, insertion, and primary action makes anatomy much easier to understand. Rather than memorizing isolated facts, you can predict how muscles function based on their attachments. These muscles are among the most commonly tested in high school biology, anatomy and physiology, nursing, and kinesiology courses. In part 2, we'll shift our focus to the lower body, including the gluteal muscles, quadriceps, hamstrings, calf muscles, and many others. Together, these two lessons provide a solid foundation for understanding the human muscular system. For more tutorials and test prep videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Dr. Bee's Tutorials.